Hi friends, welcome to my channel Bedazzling Economics. Today I am going to discuss the difference between demand and supply. Let's start with the difference between demand and supply. The first difference is supply is the amount of quantity which the market wants to offer at a given price during a given time period. And what is demand? Demand is the amount of quantity which the consumers willing to buy and able to buy at a given price during a given time period. So this is the first difference between demand and supply. The first is supply is the amount of quantity which the producers or the market is willing to sell at a given price. How the producer decides? If the price is high, if the producers are earning maximum profit from selling the product, then the producer decides to sell this amount of quantity. I'll sell at that price. If the profit is maximum, they will want to sell more and more amount of quantity. If the price is less, that is the profit is less, then they will want to sell less amount of quantity. That is what is supply. And what is demand? Demand is the willingness and the capability of the consumers to buy a commodity. Suppose if the price is less, more and more demand will increase, since the consumers will find it cheaper at cost and they will be able to buy more and more amount of quantity. So if the price is less, demand of the product will increase because the capability of the consumers to buy the product will increase. So demand is what? It shows the willingness of the consumers and the ability of the consumers to buy the product. And supply is the willingness of the producer to sell the product, or the willingness of the market persons, that is the companies or the producers, to sell the product. And that is what is supply. And demand is the willingness or the ability of the consumers to buy the product. This is the first difference between supply and demand. Now the second point is law of supply states that price and supply are directly related, whereas law of demand states that price and demand are inversely related. Why? See, when price increases, supply increases. When price falls, supply falls. So this shows a direct relationship. When price is increasing, supply is also increasing. When price falls, supply falls. So it shows a direct relation between price and supply. So price and supply are directly related. In case of demand, when price increases, demand falls. When price falls, demand increases. So in case of demand, what happens? When price is increasing, demand is falling. When price is falling, demand is increasing. So it shows an inverse relationship between price and demand. So let's move to the third point. Supply curve is a upward sloping curve. Demand curve is a downward sloping curve. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. You can write x-axis also as Q, quantity axis, and it is as P, any one of that. Either X or P, either like X or Q or Y or P. This is the supply curve. Supply curve is a upward sloping curve. And this is the demand curve. Demand is a downward sloping curve. Because with the increase in price, demand of the commodity falls. So it is a downward sloping curve. With the increase in price, quantity supplied increases. So it is a upward sloping curve. So in case of demand, why it is downward sloping? Because with the increase in price, quantity demanded falls. Like at the first price, the quantity demanded is Q. At P, the quantity demanded is Q. When the price increases to P1, quantity demanded falls to Q1. So it is a downward sloping curve. That is a linear curve. When in case of supply, when price is P, quantity supply is Q, that is less amount. When price increases to P1, quantity supply is Q1. That is, with the increased price, quantity supply also increases. So it is a upward sloping curve. Now let us move to the fourth point. Supply of a commodity depends on the marginal cost of production technique of production, number of employees, future price expectations. whereas demand of a commodity depends on the marginal utility of the consumer income and taste and preferences. So, supply is decided by the investment of the producers. Like the producer will first calculate what is the marginal cost of production. Like what is marginal cost of production? Marginal cost of production is the amount of money required to produce another extra unit of a good. Suppose first of all the producer was producing 2 units of a good. His cost of production is 3. Suppose he is producing increasing another industry. The cost of production is increasing at 4. When he is producing 4 units, the cost of production is increasing to 6. So in the first case, his cost of production increased to 1, by 1 unit. In the second case, the cost of production is increased to 2. So if in the first example, his cost of production increased only by 1 unit. That is, the marginal cost of production increased only by 1 unit. So production till 3 unit is profitable for him. But when he is producing 1 more extra unit, the cost of production is increasing by 2. So producing a more unit is a loss for the producer. So this is what is the thing which will decide how much the producer wants to produce. And again, he will look for what will be the future expectations. Like if in future he is expecting the price to increase, that he will maximize his profit in the future, then he will keep it in stock and he will decide to sell it in the future. And what is the number of employees? Like what amount of salary he needs to pay to the employees, because paying salary also adds to the cost of production. Then the production technique. If he is using labor intensive technique, how much good he can produce. If he is using capital intensive technique, how much good he can produce. Considering all these facts, he will decide what amount of commodity to produce. And in case of demand decides the marginal utility. Demand is decided by the marginal utility of the consumer. Suppose you are very hungry. So once you are very hungry, 1 biscuit will satisfy you a lot. When you again have the second biscuit, the marginal utility of the second biscuit from the first unit will fall. First of all, suppose the first unit of the biscuit will give you a utility of 5. The second unit of the biscuit will give you a utility of 3. Then again the third unit of the biscuit will give you a utility of 0, because the first unit you were hungry. So once you consume the first unit, it will give you a lot of satisfaction. Now your hunger is filled a bit. Then when you move to the second biscuit, your hunger is satisfied to a bit amount. Then when you are consuming the second biscuit, then your hunger is fully satisfied. Now when you consume the third biscuit, since your hunger is fully satisfied, this is the extra unit you are having, your utility is 0. Now when you consume the fourth biscuit, your utility becomes -1. Since your hunger is fully satisfied, now your utility for the biscuit is negative. Means you don't want to consume anymore. If you consume any more, it may lead to health diseases, or it may lead like you will not feel good. So this is the extra unit you are consuming. So demand of the good is decided by the utility. You have utility for the biscuit till the second biscuit. So you will buy the quantity till the marginal utility of the commodity is positive, that is greater than 0. If it's equal to 0 or less than 0, you will not buy the amount of that commodity. And again the income. income decides the ability of yours to pay for that. Suppose there is only one commodity exists in the market. The commodity is pen. And your income is 100. And with your income, you only buy pen. Suppose the pen price is now 10 rupees. So how many pen you can buy with this? You can buy 10 pen. Suppose the price of pen increases to 20. With the increased price of pen, how many you can buy pen? You can buy only 5 pens. So the ability to buy pen with the increased price of the pen decreases. So the price of the commodity also decides how many commodity you can purchase with the given income. So now the taste and preference. Taste and preference is also an important factor, because in a market there are a variety of commodity which exist. Like tea and coffee are substitute goods. Somebody wants to buy tea, somebody wants to buy coffee. So taste and preference of the consumer decide they will buy tea or coffee. So taste and preference is also an important factor which decide which commodity you are going to buy. So this is what is the difference between demand and supply. So I have discussed the 4 points of difference between demand and supply. I hope this video will help you a lot to understand the difference between demand and supply. If you like my video, please do like and share with your friend. And please do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon to see all my latest videos. Thank you.